the benediction. I don't know about you, but after that, I'm ready to go. I want to thank that. And the angels that sang. Now, if I can look through the tears that y'all have caused me to shed, I'll try my best to get you out of here. Not going to say anything about the time, because we had all kinds of things to save us time. But it's still 12:36. So he went and did according unto the Lord. For he went to dwell by the brook of Cherith that is before the Jordan. And it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up, because there had been no rain in the land. Were I to give a title to what I'm about to try to do, it would be, what do you do when your brook dries up? What do you do when your brook dries up? I have come to the conclusion after a season of investigation that Elijah is a preacher you would have loved. One would not hazard that preachers are objects of affection, but I believe that we are on safe grounds to make the bold assertion that Elijah is a preacher you would have loved. You would have loved him because Elijah never showed up very often. And that fits some of our desires for the preacher. And even when he did make his appearance, he didn't have much to say. Prophet preacher that he was, he didn't make his sermons very long. And because of the brevity of his sermons, Elijah's quotability was limited. Perhaps the most noteworthy thing Elijah ever said was, "Why halt ye here between two opinions? If God be God, follow him. If Baal, follow him." Elijah was found in one incident sleeping on a juniper tree, and yet another arguing with Ahab and Jezebel over a bogus real estate transaction relating to neighbor's vineyard. Remember, they took it. So self-effacing was Elijah, the preacher, that he never took time to identify himself. We know not where, well, we do know that he was born. He was a Hishbite, but we don't know very much about his upbringing. We learned a little bit this morning from the children's story that he had some very dedicated parents who even named him a name, my God, Jehovah. Within the Bible narrative, his appearance comes with the suddenness of lightning clapping. His prophetic utterance came with the frightening precision of of booming thunder. And even when he left, he hardly had time to give off his mantle and an extra blessing to Elijah as he was swept up by a fiery furnace dispatched from the polar pools of heaven. I tell you, history calls Elijah the chief of prophets. Ahab called him the trouble of Israel. He had power of healing in his body, and he knew how to pray. So great were his prayers that, in fact, on one occasion, he prayed down fire from heaven and burned up 450 of the prophets of Baal, along with the altar they were worshiping. The man was a prophet that you heard. And so I want to draw a picture of Elijah, a brief prophetic career of this prophet, so that I can discuss with you a matter which may be of specific concern to you and to me. As you know, Ahab was the henpecked husband of Jezebel. He was on the throne at that time. It was Ahab that Elijah came to declare the word from the Lord. In a narrative in the Spirit Prophecy book, Prophecy of the Kingdom, we find after the Lord had given him the message for Ahab, he immediately set out to do God's will. He knew it was from the Lord. Not only was it God's will, but Elijah had been from time to time praying that soon God's people would return to where they should be. But this message that God gave Elijah to give to Ahab kind of troubled the fellow, didn't it? But as he left and strolled along the streets, the sideways, highways, on his way to Samaria to give Elijah, he could see babbling brooks. He could see the orchards full with fruit. He could see the grapevines bursting with grapes. He could see the babbling brooks and the flowing rivers. How could anything like this occur? But yet he went on. And I can see him now passing by, people looking at him. What this is dusty, hairy robe he had on. For he was a lot like John the Baptist, boys crying in the wilderness. And they could see this man with his dusty slippers and sandals making his way straight ahead, eyes on the door. And brothers and sisters, let me just quickly add, when you got a message from the Lord, you keep your eye on the goal. Ahab didn't know he was coming. And as he strolled through the gates there at the palace, on past the palace guards, and I could see those around him there, just looking at, who was this? He come in here dressed like this. Well, you know how you look sometimes when somebody wanders in to this. But he had a message. He didn't come there to show off his garments. He came there to show off his God. And when he got into the palace, in front of Ahab sitting on this throne, here's this dusty man raises up his voice and said, Ahab! It kind of reminded me when my mama used to call me, and she really wanted me to come. She would say, Junior, when she put that Junior was halfway there. But he said, Ahab, Ahab, as the Lord God of Israel liveth before whom I stand, there shall be no dew or rain these years according to my word. Hey, don't look now, Ahab, but a drought is about to come on your demand. I think you ought to know, Ahab, that your cisterns are about to become empty. There will be no water to irrigate your fields. Your crops are going to wither and dry up, and the mouth of your people are going to be parched with thirst. My sermon isn't very long, said Elijah, but Ahab, I want you to know there will be no water for 3 years. It was then that God spoke a word to Elijah. He said, good brother, you're in trouble now. And you can see why. This kind of a sermon in a land that's throwing, so to speak, milk and honey. I mean, they had a good thing going. And for somebody to walk up, got no business in here anyhow, and tell me something like that, Elijah was in trouble. Brother prophet, you lost your popularity here. And you better go down to the brook at Sheriff, and I'll send a raven to bring you bread and meat, both morning and evening. And not only that, you can drink the water from the brook. Now, there's not a whole lot to say between the time he went there and the time he got to the brook. But eventually, he found that what the messenger said was beginning to happen. The raven came, and the brook flowed. His meals on wings had arrived. Not only that, but every day Elijah noticed that the flow of the water in the brook began to diminish. What was once a flowing stream slowed to a trickle, and then one morning, when he got up, went out, the brook no longer was there. And that's why I want to ask the question, what do you do when brooks run dry? Now, quite naturally, we can understand why there was no water in the land. Ahab and Jezebel had set up the most godless government which the nation had ever known, before him or after. Ahab raised up temples for Baal, and Jezebel had gathered to herself an army of false prophets. We understand that the arid condition, drought, in the physical order was merely symbolic of the drought which had already taken place in the spiritual order of the nation. The nation was dry. Whenever there is no God in the government, the nation is dry. What kind of nation are we living in today? Is it dry? According to this description, it's dry. Wherever there is no spirit, no in the social order, the nation is dry. Whenever godless men cross godless paths and seek to prevent the plans of and priorities of God, Ahab and Jezebel. But that's not an explanation for what caused Elijah's. Elijah said what he said because God told him to say it. Elijah was where he was because God sent him there. Why was the one who proclaimed the drought become the victim of the drought? Since God sent Elijah to the brook, why does Elijah's brook dry up? Or to put it, the question another way, why does the brook dry up for those who are on the law's side? For those who seek to follow his way and proclaim his word, why does their brook dry up? What I mean is, going to the brook was God's idea in the first place, and I don't quite comprehend why God would sabotage his own plan and program. I'd like to know what you do when the spigot of faith is shut off. What do you do when the faucet of faith no longer flows? What do you do when the brook dries up? What do you do when the brook dries up? Perhaps in the unfolding of your days, you've had experience to see why your own brook dries up. Wherein you've lost, whenever you've lost that which gives meaning and importance to your life, your brook dries up. Whenever that which you were relying on and counting on, depending on, fails to satisfy you, your brook has dried up. Whenever you can no longer find the things that put a smile on your face and joy in your soul, your brook has dried up. Whenever whatever you've invested in fails to give you the return, your bank account gets low, no longer even there, your financial brook is dried up. When husbands and wives don't love and relate to each other, and when the communication has been shut down and shut off, when the children you gave your life for becomes disruptive and disrespectful, and it tears away every day at your heartstrings, your brook dried up. And when you come to church from Sabbath to Sabbath, and you sing the songs, but you don't have any melody in your soul. Your prayers have become so repetitive, and you just sick and tired of seeing men put on an outward show for an unfriendly world. And when you come here for some spirit, only to find that Satan is already here in charge and the Holy Spirit hasn't got a chance, your brook dried up. And that's why I want to ask this question: what do you do when your brook dries up? Now, in the instance of Elijah, it is important to understand that the brook was a hiding place. The brook was for Elijah only a temporary housing in an emergency situation. It is not a holding place. It was only a hiding place. And I just need to tell you that when you try to do God's will, God will provide a hiding place for you. My Bible tells me Moses fled to Midian from the wrath of the Egyptians to hide there for 40 years. David found shelter from the malice of Saul and envy. John, the evangelist, was from protection from persecution, was sent to the Isle of Patmos. Martin Luther took refuge from his enemies in a castle at Wartburg, a hiding place from the enemies, Ahab, and from the halls of Jezebel. And I'll tell you what, when God hides you, brother and sister, you have been hid. And if you don't believe me, you can ask David. I heard David say, he that dwelleth in the secret places of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. The brook is not a holding place. It is just a hiding place. But I still would like to know, what do you do when your brook runs dry? We ought not to overlook the fact that while Elijah was at the brook, God arranged for the birds to cooperate with the brook. He says here that God commanded the raven to feed Elijah in his exile. The raven, symbol of death and disaster. The raven, his silky black body known as messenger of misery and of mankind. And by the way, let me just add that this is not God's description of the raven. This is Edgar Allan Poe's description of the raven. He said, once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many acquired volume of forgetting lores, while I nodded and nearly napping, suddenly there came a rapping as of someone gently tapping. God now sends a raven to the aid of the frustrated prophet in a dry and ravaged land. But the lesson here is that God is in control of the whole of the creation order. If God can't depend on man, he can still depend on animals. Men would not believe Reverend Noah when he told them that there was rain was on the way. But the animals did. The animals booked passage on the ark and went up their game plan. In some places. Balaam was rebuked by the very same animal he was riding on. And Jonah disobeyed, but God sent a fish to bring him back to his senses, to prophesy to Nineveh. Nebuchadnezzar tried to kill Brother Daniel, but he did not know that God had already worked out an agreement of leniency with the lion. He who provides meat for the fowls of the air will make the fowls of the air provide meat for men. If you won't cooperate with God, he'll send a raven to do what you won't do. If you won't line up on the Lord's side, he'll let the raven take your place. God is in charge, brothers and sisters, of man and animals. David said, the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell in it. The cattle on 1,000 hills are his. The sea is his. The birds of the air is his. The fish of the sea is his. It all belongs to God. And when you are in hiding from Ahab and Jezebels of the world, God will send a raven to feed I still want to know. But I still want to know. What do you do when the brook dries up? When your brook dries up, it will force you to acknowledge who it is that provides the brook in the first place. You know, some of us are providing brooks. And it just goes on. We keep providing the brook. It may be our children. It may be some of our friends. But if God can allow his brook to dry up, to teach us the lessons, we need to come to the point in our lives where we can dry up some of our children. And those of us that are living off of other folks' brooks should be minded of the fact that that brook, someday, if it don't at all, right? I should imagine that Elijah had become rather comfortable with the flowing brook in his life. And isn't that something? You know, you can get quite comfortable when somebody is supplying your food. Huh? And even if the water is contaminated. We can become, and I imagine that Elijah was pretty comfortable at the brook that provided for him. Elijah had become rather comfortable when the flow of the brook in his life, so much so that he just expected the brook would always be there. It's a dangerous thing to take the blessings of God for granted. It's a dangerous thing to take anybody's blessing. And just because you have a babbling brook, your self-confidence today does not mean that your brook will flow tomorrow. God doesn't have to send the sun every day, but he does. God doesn't have to send oxygen in the air for you to breathe every day, but he does. God doesn't have to send the regulation beat of your heart and keep you alive, but he does. God doesn't have to give fertilization to the soil so we can grow greens in the back of the church. But he does. Sister Karen. God doesn't have to send water, the water of friendship and family and health and wholeness, but he does. Whatever the brook is in your life, you had better acknowledge that it's not there because of the work you work for it. Your brook is not there because you earned it. Your brook is not there because you deserve it. Whatever you have, God gave it to you. The lesson of Elijah is at this time, you don't miss your water. Whatever the brook's in your life, you had better thank God for it. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. You brought nothing into this world, and you will take nothing out when you go. Thank God for your brook. He who made the brook can dry up the brook. But perhaps now even you want to know, after you've acknowledged who made the brook, what do you do when the brook dries up? Well, I've got to admit, gotta come for it. I don't have much advice for you. But there's one thing that I can tell you. When your brook dries up, don't panic. A whole seen their brooks dry up, and they panicked in the process. The economy has turned down, and some financiers' futures are at stake. Panic. Some folks panic. Some folks jump off of bridges when they panic. Some have seen their homes destroyed by divorce, and they too have come to panic. But I can tell you that when your brook dries up, don't panic. You're lying in bed at night, counting the stars, or counting the sheep, when you should be talking to the shepherd. Don't panic. You can't drown your troubles in a bottle. Pills can't pick up the pieces. And you can't chase away your sorrows by always singing the blues. If Moses had a panic, the children of Israel would have still been in Egypt, eating out of the flesh pots there. If Joshua had a panic, he would not have been able to watch the walls of Jericho fall down. If Caleb had a panic, he would have never said, "Let us go up and possess it." If David had a panic, he would never have fought Goliath. If Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had panicked, they would never have walked around in a fiery furnace and come out not even smelling like smoke. If Job had panicked, he would never have declared, "All the days of my appointed time, I'll wait till my change comes." If Paul and Silas had a panic, they would never have a prayer meeting in the Philippian jailhouse. If Jesus had a panic, he would never have said, "Father, unto thy hands I commit my spirit." Ask Moses. Ask Moses, won't God make a way out of the water? Roll up on one side and roll up on the other side and dry up the ground and let the folk of God walk through. Ask Elijah. Ask Isaiah. Won't the wilderness break out with water? And won't you find streams in the desert? Ask those newlyweds there in Canaan. Won't Jesus come by and turn the water into wine? Or ask the man at the pool of Bethesda. Won't Jesus come by and trouble the water and then tell you to take up your bed and walk? Ask the woman at the well. Won't Jesus give you that living water that wells up inside everlasting life? Ask David where to find new water. There is a river, the stream whereof shall make glad the city of God. And keep talking to him, because he'll tell you where you can lay down beside the still water to get your soul restored. Don't panic. Don't panic. My story is not over. You still want to know what to do when your brook dried up. When Elijah's brook dried up, God didn't leave him dry. Pick up your bag, Elijah. It's moving time. And I want you to go down to the village of Zarephath. And there you will find a widow woman. Now, she don't have very much. It's just her and her son. There's no employment line that she can stand in to get funds. And her food stamps will probably run out. And all she has is a little bit of meat and a little oil, with which she's gathering sticks there, and she's about to make a meal for her and her son. which he expects then to die, a brook to completely dry. But I want you to go down there and I want you to talk with her as she prepares to tell her to bring you a cool drink of water. Now you know that God had to have been there and talked to this sister already. Because how many women do you know with a son and with that much food left for her is going to give it to a dusty, robe-clad, sandal-foot man? Huh? But she went off to get the water and he said, oh, by the way, bring me a piece of bread. She told him her story that I don't have. All I have is a little needle and purse of oil, in which I'm going to make a bit. You know a whole cake of bread? How many of y'all know? You know about that? Yes, sir. Many whole cake of bread. I'm eating this. I'm about to make a whole cake of bread, in which I'm going to give it to me and my son, and we're going to die. But he said, bring me first. This is why I know that God had already been here preparing for this dry brook situation. Because she did that. She brought it to him. And because she obeyed in her dry brook situation, she not only ate that day, but she ate the next day. And she ate the next day. And she ate the next day. And I commend to you today that you don't panic when your brook runs dry. You want to know why God let your brook dry up? He's trying to make sure that you have a testimony. If you never had a dry brook, you can't tell the world what God has done for you. I want you to have a testimony, Elijah, the Lord says, and he wants you to have a testimony too. I want you to be able to tell men what the Lord has brought you out. We come to prayer meeting on Wednesday night, find folks who have dry brook situation in their lives, and they told us how God has brought them through these dry brook situations. You can be able to say how I got over. How I got over. Your soul look back and wonder how you got through that dry brook situation. Andre Crouch put it better when he said, I have many tears and sorrow. I've had questions for tomorrow. There's been times I didn't know right from wrong. But in every situation, God gives blessed consolation that your trials can only come. He said, I thank God for the mountains, and I thank him for the valleys, and I thank him for the storms he brought me through. For if I'd never had a problem, I wouldn't know how God could solve it. I wouldn't know what faith God can do. When you get into these dry brook situations, you can come out saying, through it all, through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His grace. Amen. I hope you know now what to do when your brook runs dry. Because if it hasn't run dry, it's gonna. Because God wants you to have a what? A testimony. A testimony. How many of you got testimony? Don't you see? Don't you see? God is good. His mercies endure forever. If there's anyone in here at this time that don't know that God is good and want to get closer to him and find out, come on up. We got a lot to tell you. to get ready for your dry Brook situation. May God bless you.